Hi guys, Colin here. Like many guitarists, I'm on a constant quest to improve my equipment in terms of longevity, convenience and sound. Over the last month, I've been exploring some new guitar strings which the lovely people over at Cleartone kindly sent me to try. Cleartone claim to be a revolution in guitar strings. They realise that many popular brands of strings become dead all too quickly, whereas coated strings have many drawbacks in terms of feel and sound. So what they have produced is a treated guitar string that not only rejects sweat and grime from your hands, essentially imbuing these strings with immortality while being completely imperceivable to the touch, but they've also managed to produce strings that are brighter and louder than their competitors. Now these are incredibly huge claims from Cleartone, and the skeptic in me says you'd have to have a brain made of wet socks to believe all this to be true. Well, call me a soggy laundry head if they weren't completely right to claim these things. Now I've tried the acoustic, the electric and the drop tune sets, and all of them performed exceptionally well in the fields of feel, tone and longevity. Let's talk a bit more about the treatment of these strings. Unlike a conventional coated guitar string where there's a thick visible layer that encases the entire string, which is prone to flaking, can feel rubbery or plasticky under the fingers and inhibits the vibrations of the string, reducing the volume and the tone, Cleartone strings have a 500 nanometer treatment, so thin that you can't feel it and the vibrations of the string can go on uninhibited. This paper towel has received the same 500 nanometer treatment as Cleartone strings receive. You'll see when we immerse this in water, the water doesn't absorb into the paper as you would commonly find, but instead it rolls off the surface. This protection on the Cleartone strings prevents sweat and moisture penetrating into the strings, allowing them to survive up to 5 times longer than your conventional untreated string. One thing I can't prove on camera is feel, so you'll just have to trust me when I say that these strings feel absolutely no different to a standard set of uncoated strings. There is none of the slippiness or plastic texture that I've come to expect from standard coated strings, and certainly none of the flaking or disintegration of the coating, which I'm sure guys who have played coated guitar strings before will have torn their hair out over. These strings just feel brilliant. Let's talk briefly about the different sets that I've tested. Acoustic Phosphor Bronze 12s. I've installed these on my Yamaha F310, which is a very cheap acoustic guitar, but I wanted to see how these would improve the sound of a very bass level instrument. It was strung up previously with Diodarios and was very trebly, and there wasn't much warmth or body to the sound at all. With the Cleartones installed, there's a much more balance of frequencies with good strong lows and mids without being too boomy or overbearing, and nice clear highs that aren't too sharp or piercing. Very punchy and loud too, and I've loved the improvement these have made to the instrument and would love even more to see how they sound on a more expensive acoustic guitar. Electric nickel plated 10 through 52s. I've installed these on both my Ash Fossil build and my Ibanez ART, and I am in love with these strings. The Fossil has had them on the longest and it's starting to show some signs of dulling on the unwound strings, but the change in tone has been very minimal since they went on. Very bright and punchy, almost as if you've got a boost pedal in your chain. These for me are a game changer. Light top, heavy bottom strings are my secret weapon in tone. While the bottom strings are so thick, you get a good tension on those for very powerful power chords and very punchy single notes, the high strings are still light enough in tension that you can play all your lead work effortlessly. This set comes highly recommended from me. Check these out, get these on your guitars, you will not be disappointed. Certainly the best of the 3 sets that I've had to test.
Heavy series 13 to 70.
These things are ridiculous. A 70 gauge string. 70 gauge. I had to take a round needle file to the machine head post just to get the string through the hole. These things took a lot of work to get to function with the guitar because they were so thick. Had to change the nut, had to change the machine heads, had to change the intonation, had to really work to get these to fit. I got them tuned up to drop B flat on this guitar, so the tension's actually quite high. My one complaint about this set is that the third string is unwound. When unwound strings get this sort of thickness, I find that they become very difficult to intonate and they don't sound balanced compared to the rest of the strings. I'd much prefer if that third string was a wound string. You get much better balance, much better intonation that way. That aside though, these strings really do come into their own when you're talking about sound and feel. That extra tension on the really thick strings makes them ideal for djenting or some aggressive metal low string nonsense. These are the thickest strings that Cleartone offer though, so you can choose a less thick set of strings, which is probably going to be better for many situations. But for punchiness and articulation, the heavy series Cleartones are just incredible if you're doing some very low-tuned, aggressive music. So in closing, despite all my reservations, I was really impressed with these Cleartone strings. They are offering a genuine solution to the problems that they claim standard guitar strings have, and they are producing product that is really high quality and sounds amazing. Add to that these strings will outlast many other brands on the market, and you've got yourself a set of strings that you can trust. I'm pretty convinced that I'll be wanting to put Cleartone strings on all the guitars I build from now on. These things represent the sounds of a guitar very well. So if you want to find out more about these strings or the other strings that Cleartone do in their range, find out who stocks them near you and even order them directly from online, then you can visit Cleartone's website here. I highly suggest that you get yourself a couple pack of these strings and try them out. There's nothing to lose, everything to gain, and hopefully you'll be as impressed with them as I was. Now, of course, this isn't the only video that I've done or will be doing in the future, so if you want to see everything else that I produce, then you can hit the subscribe button and you'll be able to see all the new videos that I'm bringing out. Also available on all the social media, and you can leave a comment in the comment section below letting me know what you think of these strings, any suggestions you'd like me to do in the future, or just, call me names and whatever you want to say to me.
Come ahead, mate! More then!
So all that's left for me to say now is keep it loud. See you later, guys.